position. Yeah.
Asante sana. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, friends of Kenya, Your Excellencies and honorable leaders of political parties, other friends of Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, ladies and gentlemen. Nice things have already been said about our host tonight, so I'm not going to repeat those. I just want to say one or two little things that don't so much mark what he did, but why we miss such talent in public leadership in the country today. The first 10 years of my acquaintance with Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, he was a Minister of Government, and I was an opposition parliamentarian. The highest point of our altercations was during the crisis of the genocide in Rwanda, when I brought to Parliament a motion of adjournment to discuss the failure of African diplomacy and the failure of the world to stop the butcher of innocent civilians in that then sad place. Since then, we even got very, very closely together, because after the 2002 elections, I became Minister of Trade and Industry and was Foreign Minister. We were both members of Council of the East African Community. So for a very, very intense 3-4 years, we were intimately involved in negotiation of a common market, the customs union and common market for East Africa. I remember we were spending sleepless nights with Jakaya Kikwete and the Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda to beat the deadline, because there was that drive and desire for East African integration. But beyond that, he's known as Mr. Peace Builder for his work not just in Sudan, but also the Mbagathi process for peace building in Somalia. We mention these things not so much as a celebration of an icon of diplomacy, but as a sharp contrast to the sad situation in which we find ourselves today. Unfortunately, egos and guns have been bigger in supply than brains in South Sudan, and you see how the promise of the youngest African country has turned into disaster. The speech from South Sudan and the poorest victims of those that came back in our country. Similarly, Sudan unravels as Khartoum becomes a no-go area. It pains those of us who have associated with peace building to know that we have a president who, sheerly for personal interest in bloody gold, is dragging Kenya into a crisis that is not our own. And he brings people to this territory to try to form a so-called shadow government, when those people have gained their reputation for slaughtering black people in Darfur and Zagawa. It's a disgrace that could never happen if Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had his way, had a say in how Kenya runs its diplomacy. Similarly, we are passing through difficult times. Today, as I was coming, I heard the announcement of the Franco-German defense agreement. The first time that Europe has had to look at building a new architecture for defense because of rumbles across the Atlantic. It's a difficult times. But for us, we believe that friends of Kenya will still have the attention to support our democratic project. They could still stand with the efforts of people like Kalonzo Musyoka. Traditionally, the struggle for Kenya's democracy has been watered by the principled statement of the diplomatic community that we stand for what is good for the country, without fear of intimidation, without being blackmailed, without pretending to hail a king as having the best clothes when you can see that the king is naked. Sorry, it's not my day. I just want to say we contrast what we have heard and what is existing in the Kenyan gene pool and the inadequate capacity, competence, and execution of diplomatic duty that we witness in our country today. I am proud to be associated with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and thank you very much for making us share this important day in your life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, high commissioners, and our distinguished guests, allow me to acknowledge two people. We have the ambassador of Cyprus with us here, and also the senator for Kisii County, Senator Onyonga. It's now my humble pleasure to